Brought to you by ICEA Lion.
Let's shift gears now, Mr.
Yes.
Mwangi.
Yes.
Looking at the current economic situation,
Right.
We did see the pandemic affecting
Absolutely.
businesses
Absolutely.
in all proportions. The economy contracted, jobs were lost.
Absolutely.
And we are here now saying people need to buy insurance.
Absolutely.
How did the insurance sector in the first place perform?
Yes.
And what do you see in your crystal ball? Are
Okay.
things likely to change?
Okay. Thank you very much. 2020, March the 15th was the day the president made a speech and he said, we've got to lock down our borders. Schools need to close the next 3 days. People have to start working from home. I mean, you can imagine that was a shock to the entire economy, right? So naturally, a lot of our clients were affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. You know, you can imagine in the hospitality industry, they couldn't get guests, they couldn't serve food in their restaurants, you know. There was a fear of the pandemic spreading, so people had to stay at home. So a lot of businesses literally ground to a halt. Now, those were our clients. On a very practical level, many of them had employees who they let go. Many of them had pension products. They couldn't remit the contributions. So there were what we call surrenders. The value of the insurance contributions to a particular time was assessed and there was a surrender value and some of them had to receive their money. So we saw a contraction in our business. Okay? Fortunately, some of them had already insured from January for the short-term business, but for the long-term business, we found that people could not afford, they didn't have the liquidity, and we found a shrinkage in that.
Yeah.
We also found that in the investments we've done, for example, in the residential and office investments, a lot of businesses who have rented space from us in our investments could not afford to pay rent, so we found a bit of shrinkage in that area also. So we were all negatively affected. But we had to come up with a strategy to see how can we absorb this shock. Okay? And of course, the first thing we did was to find a way of making sure our people are safe, right? So we got our people to work from home. That's the first thing.
Sure.
And we're able to ensure that connectivity. And number two, how can we ensure we service our customers? We went into a high overdrive of developing what we call digital assets to make sure we can reach our people, our customers, and make sure that our people can continue working from remote locations. And this we continue to do. So we're able to absorb the shock by taking these measures. Okay? And I'm glad to say that, yes, we were negatively affected, but we could say that we are fairly resilient from the measures that we took. And I really salute all our people because they went all out to try their best to make sure that despite the negative downturn, we managed to still move on.
All right.
Now, this is a year now where we're looking at really now getting back and recovering. And I think from what we've gone through because of the COVID pandemic, we were able to develop what we call agility, ability to adapt to new changes very quickly. And I think we're better off because of that, because somehow you can easily get comfortable when there are no challenges. But this was a huge challenge for all of us.
That's
and you know, when you get a challenge, you strengthen yourself and your ability to overcome challenges.
Sure.
So we are now more innovative. We have much more agility. We're able to move very quickly. We're developing new products, such as the one we launched last week, the Digitrust product. We are developing other digital products, and those should be coming out on course this year.
All right.
We're looking forward to that, yeah.
Interesting questions.
Yeah.
There's a very important question that I really wouldn't want to miss asking you. It's
Please
on
ask
the
it.
asset management. We are aware that your asset management business recently launched the Digitrust.
Absolutely.
And I want us to spend a bit more time on this product because it comes at a time where Kenyans are slowly recovering from this economic lull.
Exactly.
And people are looking around, shopping. What can I get here and there?
Absolutely.
And yes, ICEA has this to offer.
Absolutely.
What are your projections in terms of uptake?
Yeah.
Is it something you are going to go big on?
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much, AB. I think that's a very good question, and because the launch was just last week, I think it's a very important question for us, and it's very timely that we have this product available. Number one, let us understand that the savings rate in Kenya is approximately 8%. Okay? Our Vision 2030 has projected to increase that savings rate to about 30%.
Yeah.
Now, when COVID struck, those who did not have savings ended up literally needing to beg for their survival. And a state of begging for survival is a state of no dignity at all. And nobody would like to end up in that space. I'm sure you got many calls from people saying, things are a little difficult, send me something, send me something.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's not
It was
something
a trying
anybody.
time.
It was a trying time. And so you help those you can, but you can't help them indefinitely. And I think people have realized it's better if I proactively help myself by ensuring that I have a nest egg of savings and investments which I can dip into in case of a downturn in my life, in my financial life. And so we're basically saying that we were educated through this practical experience of difficulty to realize saving is very important. And so DigiTrust then comes in. The challenge that people have had with saving is that to try and open a savings account or get an investment product is a long, horrendous product with a lot of documentation, which you have to go to a particular location and give documents there and line up, etc., etc. But we've got mobile technology. Why can't we use mobile technology to ease the pain of investing, right? And that's what DigiTrust is all about. But also affordability is an issue. Some of the investment products around are just very difficult for many people because the threshold is very high and the returns are also very low. So let us access the money markets through a product that is easy to access, that has a low threshold for starting off, and that also has got flexibility. So DigiTrust has flexibility in that even if you invest today, you can actually withdraw some of that money to a certain limit tomorrow, up to 10,000 shillings. And beyond that, you've got to give us a notice of approximately 24 hours. Okay? But that is very friendly to the users. So it is not an investment product, it's an investment solution with the users in mind, with the ordinary mwananchi, with the ordinary person who wants to make sure that if there is a difficulty in the future, at least they have a place where they are placing some funds aside and they don't have to go to that situation of no dignity where you have to beg, seek, call people and say, look, I'm stranded. Okay? That is the reason.
All right.
That's the rationale.
Interesting.
And we encourage people actually to say, take up this savings culture. There is also something which we call share of wallet. When people get money, there is a lot of people who are looking for that money. Okay? There are people who sell drinks, they want that money. There are people who sell gambling services, they want that money. And all these other people. Right? But we are basically saying the wise option is for you to take an investment product rather than some of these, because some of these are very short-term products or very short-term expenditures that you're going to spend. They're based on luck, but this is assured. You know you're going to invest a certain amount of money, you know you're going to get a certain return, you know you can access your money and your money is not going anywhere and it will never get lost because you are with an established business, which is not going anywhere.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that's why we're encouraging people to
Interesting. I'd be keen to see how the product performs in the coming days.
Yes, there's a whole education process which we're looking forward to. This is part of it, and we really want to educate people, especially the young people who have a long future ahead of them, that it's worthwhile. If you look at countries like Japan, they have developed very well out of this culture of really working hard, being frugal, trying to save some money, etc., etc. And you can see they are a very big growing economy. So it's good for the country. It's good for the continent.
All right.
Yeah.
And as we wrap up, Mr. Mwangi, just recently I was having a chat with a very good friend of mine, Ms. Waithera, and we're just talking about wealth and asset management.
Right.
It is perceived that it's a product meant for the wealthy.
Right.
And just help us dismantle all these myths.
Okay. Ebi, I think there is no such category as wealthy and poor, but we should have the categories of wealthy and potentially wealthy. You understand? Those are the two categories I like to work with. We should not call people poor or not wealthy. We say potentially wealthy and those who are wealthy. And what we're basically saying, this product is for the wealthy and the potentially wealthy. I'll give you a simple example. There was a story a few years ago in the press, and I think you must be aware of it. There was a gentleman who used to sell maize here in Nairobi, right? And he was selling the maize, 10 shillings, 20 shillings, and putting that money aside. 10 shillings, 20 shillings, and putting that money aside. And within a few years, I think 3-4 years, he went and bought this big new matatus. I think they call them manyangas. You know those very fancy manyangas?
Yes.
Those beautiful matatus?
Here
nganyas.
The current generation call them nganyas.
Nganyas, those ones. He went and bought one. And I think it was plying the Ongatongai route. Very beautiful. It has screens on the seats and everything. Now, was this man not wealthy or was he poor? He was potentially wealthy, and now he's a wealthy man. Because he had the discipline of saving, putting money aside on a regular basis, and delaying his consumption, delaying his immediate gratification. Everybody is capable of doing that. So this product we have is for everybody who is capable of disciplining themselves. And if they're not yet wealthy, they are potentially wealthy, and within a few years, they can be very wealthy.
All right.
So this is what we encourage people.
Doesn't discriminate.
Doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
It's up to you. If it is to be, it is up to you. If you want to be wealthy, you have a vehicle. And all you need to do is discipline yourself.
Okay.
And use this vehicle to your advantage.
All right.
This gentleman did not have that vehicle at the time, but he used whatever means available at the time. But how many more are there like him? We think there are very many. We believe there are very many. And we want to reach them. Because if we can make potentially wealthy people wealthy in this country, we are all better off. Crime will go down, everyone will be much happier, we'll have less problems.
All right.
Abi, I just want to mention on the big picture, as we sit here on this show today speaking, we have a big problem in this African continent. There are young people trying to escape out of the continent, walking literally to the northern part of Africa to find a boat that will take them to Europe. Are you aware of that?
Yes, we are.
As we speak today, there are young girls who are being recruited by agents to go and work in the Middle East countries as housemaids and other jobs. You understand? Under very difficult conditions, because they are not able to generate some wealth for themselves here and survive reasonably. How? We have a way of that they can start saving the little they have here, and from potentially wealthy, they can become wealthy. That's what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Speaking from the heart.
Absolutely.
To power.
Absolutely.
Well, we've been speaking there to the CEO of ICEA Lion Group, just giving us the latest insights into the insurance business, and even as the company positions itself for better growth in 2021. Well, that's where we bring it to a close. For now, we take a look at the markets as we wrap up. Well, those are the numbers from the markets, and we thank you for your valid company. Remember to always engage with us on our social media platforms appearing at the bottom end of your screens. Until next time, bye-bye.